Number 2, who did we have as our runner-up to our number 1?
Well, they have the reigning 2-time MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Say his name right.
They just locked him up.
They just
locked him up. That's how you say it. Well, actually, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo. I forget how it is in Greek, but it's not how it is over here. It's actually a new name. Look that story up. This is actually not his real last name. Look it up. Look it up, Amir. I want you to look it up. But they just locked him up. Had a pretty crazy.
Why would they lock him up?
They just locked him up long term. They got him to sign that extension. They had a pretty busy offseason. Brought in Drew Holiday, DJ Augustine, Bobby Portis. People can say what they want about him. Bryn Forbes. We got crazy hate for saying that Bryn Forbes is a good player. He's a good player. I don't care. People can put a gun to my head and say, admit that he's bad. I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to do it. I think he's a good player.
I won't do it.
They got Torrey Craig, and they brought back Amir's favorite Sacramento King draft pick ever, Nick Stauskas. Go ahead and tell us what the GM had everyone do whenever he drafted Nick Stauskas.
It was actually Vivek, the owner.
The owner.
We're going to talk about Vivek in a little bit, but whatever. He said, everyone's saying Nick rocks on 3 after he drafted him, and he called him on the phone, and Nick Stauskas on the phone. Anyway, I don't want to talk about this. Move on. Okay, move on. I'm not doing that. Drew Holiday, really good pickup. I really like that. Bryn Forbes, screw you guys. I love Bryn Forbes. Stop hating on us. Bryn Forbes is good. You didn't watch any Spurs games if you don't like Bryn Forbes. I swear to God, he's a good player. Watch him this year. I guarantee you he'll have a good year. Stop. And
Relax. Calm down, Amir.
Okay, sorry.
You're going to get people upset. Talk about their losses. Eric Bledsoe, gone. George Hill, the only NBA player I've ever ran into out in public. Very nice guy. He's now gone. In a Flight Club in New York City. That's right.
Whoa. You never went to New York City.
Yes, I have. I went twice. I swear to God in my life.
I know about the first time you went there. I don't know about the second time.
Well, the first time was like 10th grade.
You want to tell us about the first time?
It was the first time.
With a certain lady that...
Oh, no, that was the second time. The first time was like 9th grade. I wore khaki shorts and I had swamp ass, dude. It was a miserable fucking day. Miserable ass day.
PG show!
Well, you know what? They have to learn about it eventually. Wesley Matthews bounced. He said, I'm going to L.A. Lake Show, bitch. And then now he's in L.A. So we'll see how that goes. I don't really think they lost much. Robin Lopez bounced. Sterling Brown bounced. Actually, he had a pretty bad run-in with police there. So I don't blame him for wanting out. I'd want out too instantly. Ilyasova, he left. They were happy. Marvin Williams. Marvin
Williams been in the NBA. I swear to God, I remember the old 2Ks when I was a kid. I would be renting it from my local Blockbuster as a renting 2K freaking 9, and he'd be in the game on the Atlanta Hawks. How is he still in the league?
Well, he's not anymore because as soon as they got knocked out by Miami, he went in the locker room. I forget who they were interviewing, and then all of a sudden you hear, I'm retiring. And the camera pans over to Marvin Williams, and he's just sitting there like this. And everyone's like, what'd you say? And he goes, I'm retiring. So Marvin Williams called it quits right after they lost in the playoffs. I don't blame him. He was drafted, 2nd overall, but he somehow carved out a career in the NBA that lasted what felt like 20 years. I think he was drafted in 2005? 6 maybe? But he carved out a decent career for being a bust, and shout out to him for that.
All right, well, you know what, Caleb? You need to calm down. All right, that starting lineup, Drew Holiday, probably Dante DiVincenzo, almost a king. Not anymore because the NBA hates small markets. Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brook Lopez. So, again, decent starting 5. They improved by getting Drew Holiday. Good pickup for them. They threw the whole bag and a half at the Pelicans just to get Drew Holiday. Was it worth it? No, but I'm sure Bucks fans will argue with us that it was worth it. Giannis, I think he'll have another really, really good year. I'm excited to see if he can have a three-peat for MVPs.
Do you know who the last player to three-peat the MVP was? I'm putting you on the spot. He's a former Celtic.
Yeah. Eddie House. Name.
No, it's not Eddie House. It's Larry Bird.
It's Marquise Daniels, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, no, it's not. But shout out to Marquise Daniels. What a cool guy he was.
If there was a guy named Sleepy something, it would be Sleepy Marquise.
You're not wrong.
Let's go to our first segment of Buy or Sell. First up.
What up, Bucks fans? This is Yanis, the Greek Freak. I'm excited for today. Big day today. I'll be here in Milwaukee for the next 5 years. This is my home. This is my city. I'm excited to be a part of this organization. I'm excited to go to work with my teammate. I'm excited to walk around this city, and it's been amazing, man. It's been amazing, and the show goes on, and let's get it.
I can't disagree with you more. I don't see any chance Giannis will want to save there. Will want to stay there because, I mean, it's Milwaukee for God's sakes. We talked about it. Who the heck wants to stay in Wisconsin? But he could stay there. I think he really signed that extension because he feels pressured at this point. He doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want to be another player that leaves and goes somewhere else. And I think Giannis still thinks he has time. And he doesn't want to give up on Milwaukee. But getting that money and securing the bag now to me tells me, okay, I got my $225 million extension. I can go anywhere I want. I just need to ask out. And Milwaukee's not going to trade him to Charlotte or a random team like that. You know, they're not going to trade him to Minnesota. They're going to want to trade him to a good team because they know that if he goes to one of those bad teams, Milwaukee's never getting a star again. Right? I'm going to sell. I don't think he's going to stay. Number 2.
I think it's just going to make our team that much better. Having more defenders, guys who can guard 1 through 4, guys who can guard the toughest players in the league helps our defense. And I know this defense for the last couple of years has been top 5 or even top 3. So I feel like defense for us, especially with the type of offensive threats that we have, is going to just catapult our offense. So me personally, I'm looking forward to it. As y'all know, I love defense. I'm here for the defense just so we can catapult to the offense.
Buy or sell, the Bucks are the best defensive team in the league.
I'm going to purchase that. I like Chris Middleton. I like Drew Holiday there now. Giannis is Defensive Player of the Year. Brooke Lopez was all defense first team. I mean, that's 4 out of 5 guys that are locked down. I'm going to say I'm going to purchase that. I feel confident with that. I don't think I have to add much more. I'm going to buy that.
I look at their lineup and I see Middleton, Giannis, and Drew Holiday. They were already one of the best defensive teams. You got a Defensive Player of the Year on your roster. You got another guy that's considered one of the best defensive guards in the league in Drew Holiday. Brooke Lopez made first defensive all-team last year. That's a good roster right there. It's really good defensive starting 5. Not much argument for me there either. Let's move on to our last one, number 3.
For me, being able to, give back to this city and to this organization means a lot. Like, I'll be ecstatic if we could be able to bring a championship to Milwaukee. Like, I'll be probably the happiest person ever. Obviously, last time that happened was 1971, and there's steps to that. We cannot just sit here and fool ourselves and say, "Oh, we're gonna go to the final and win a championship," because last year we got eliminated in the second round. There's other good teams. There's probably 7, 8 teams that they have the same goal to win the championship, and you got to be really good, and you got to create great habits and play good basketball, have great chemistry for all that to work out and have luck. But as Giannis, I believe, and my goal is to bring a championship to this city and to this organization.
Buy or sell, Caleb? The Bucks had the best offseason of any team.
I don't know about best. Were they the most active? I feel like they were the most active with so many failed move, successful moves, trading away. They basically traded away 8th graders. They said, you know what? You can have our pick in 2031. Take it. We don't need it anymore. So New Orleans is loaded with picks. But basically they traded away 8th graders. I don't think that they lost much. I think they had a really good offseason. If I had to give it a grade, A. I would say A. I wouldn't give it an A+ because I feel like that would be the best team in the league, right? But I don't know. Pretty good offseason. I'll give them an A.
I'm going to sell. I don't think they had the best offseason. I think they had possibly one of the worst offseasons. Again, Bucks fans are going to get mad at me, but Drew Holiday, he was so underrated to me that at this point, to me, now he's overrated. That trade is ridiculous. They gave up way too much. David Griffin finesses another team once again. He pulled off a Sam Presti-like trade in that. Good for him. Good for the Pelicans. This is kind of the same thing with Luke Kennard. It's like, well, if you're finessing a GM, good for you, because Bucks GM panicked. They didn't get Bogdan Bogdanovic, and I don't know who messed up on that, and we'll find out eventually who screwed that up. But that was a colossal mistake. And now, I mean, does Drew Holiday win you a championship? No. To me, Drew Holiday is not going to be the difference. And I know it. I get it. A lot of people are going to say, well, it's not Drew, it's Giannis, but Drew just helps us out. Sure. But does Giannis really do it by himself? No. I think he needs another star. Is Chris Middleton that star? No, he's not. They need to get somebody else. I don't think they had the best offseason. I think they had one of the worst, and now they have no picks. So good luck. If they ever want to get a second star, they can't trade it, because guess what? They gave all the way for Drew Holiday.
They did. They did give a lot away. And that's why, like, James Harden did name drop Milwaukee at one point. But it's like, well, Milwaukee's done. I mean, Milwaukee's done now. What can they trade for Harden? Nothing.
You see.
Also, hey, before we move on, I want to give a shout out to our good friend Drew. You know, there's Drew Holiday, and we have a friend named Drew as well. So shout out to Drew.
Yeah, but that's a lot better version of a Drew, right? Like, he can sing.
This one plays Fortnite with us.
He can sing, he can act, he can play Fortnite. He can do it all, right? But Drew Holiday, what can he do? He can play defense. Like, all right. Have you seen my friend Drew's clips of him playing defense, him diving on the floor for loose balls?
He's the ultimate hustle guy. I mean, he's basically Patrick Beverly. That's what I'd compare him to.
Caleb, last question I wanted to ask you. The Bucks, are they going to make the finals this year? Chop, chop.
No. I'd take the Eastern Conference. Miami, they're going to be back and good. Brooklyn, if healthy, good. Boston, I don't know. It's kind of like they're like that B tier. You know what I mean? There's like the A+ tier. I think that's where Milwaukee is. And then I think Brooklyn and Miami are right there behind them. And then Toronto and Boston. And then, I mean, you go down. But I would say no. I would take the field.
Agreed. I don't think
because we need to see Giannis as a closer. He has not shown the ability to close out a game.
Yeah, that's why I can't put them at number one, and that's why I can't see them in the finals. If Brooklyn's healthy, Brooklyn to me is that team. If not, I think Miami has the ability to get back there, given the fact that they were already there last year and they had a ton of injuries and they had a struggling year. I think they'll have a bounce back year, especially given the fact that a lot of their guys are young.
Okay, well, you know what? We brought up a guy that can't close out a team, and that's why we had to put him at number 2.